And welcome back to Jeff Kutuny live here at Citizen Television, here with two feisty legislators, Cheruiyot Member of Parliament Joshua Kutuny and Kericho Senator Aaron Cheruiyot, talking about the Mao. It is a hot potato, folks, believe it or not. Any way you look at it, it's a hot potato. Tweets coming in very thick and very fast. Let me just read a couple, gentlemen. Moses Kuria, Member of Parliament from Kutuny South, says, as one who spent years managing the post-election violence, IDP issues in the Rift Valley, I feel the pain of Joshua Kutuny and Aaron Cheruiyot. That's how I feel when I visit the IDPs in Mawingo and Weo Mererie, 12 years down the line. It's Moses Kuria there. Emmanuel Talam says, it is tragic that Honorable Kutuny believes that just because the DP operates from what was the Prime Minister's office, he inherited the functions of the Prime Minister. He should get a proper briefing from his masters on the structure of a presidential system of government. Can
I respond to him?
For sure.
Can I respond to Emmanuel Talam?
Please.
Emmanuel Talam covered the story in 2012 on 24th of February. Emmanuel Talam, when he was in KTN, covered the story when the first money was released and resettlement was done in Kipkabus, Chemusian farm, and we took the first group of people there. We came and issued the statement in Parliament. Emmanuel Talam was there towards the end of the year, and we confirmed that the money was available. And he knows very well that all the functions that was then at the Prime Minister's domicile, at the Prime Minister's office, including conservation of Mao, was forwarded to the Deputy President office. Recently, 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, the Deputy President had a team of experts to talk about conservation of environment. So I want to remind Emmanuel Talam that you are supposed to communicate with facts in such an office. You are among the people who are misleading, and that is why public is questioning the capacity of the people handling the communication at the Deputy President's office.
Senator, what do you say?
You know, Joshua, when Joshua speaks, you will believe that he has just landed from the moon into this particular show. He will not want us to know that for the last 5 years, he was an advisor in the office of the president.
Correct.
This same Joshua Kutuny that is seated here.
Yeah.
So you cannot pontificate, my friend, as if you don't carry any share of the blame.
And if
there was no, Joshua,
Andrew,
please,
I want to
just relax.
Yes.
Relax, my friend. You know?
Yeah.
He cannot pontificate as if he has just arrived from the moon,
right,
and everybody else is to be blamed. He's the one now who's arriving with a solution. What has he done with that particular issue? But the problem is, and this is why, Jeff, I want to tell you,
go on.
I am very clear in my mind that for the last 5, 6 or 7 years, we have done so well. The reason why I was telling you we have challenges after phase 1 is after phase 1, there was supposed to be reforestation.
Right.
You know, planting back trees and creating a buffer between human beings and the forest.
And that wasn't done.
That wasn't done. That is where the problem is. The fact that schools have been built in this particular area tells you that government had made a decision that there is no moving of people in this particular area. Why I have a problem with CS Tobiko is that he needs to tell the country what has informed the decision to depart from the earlier government position of ensuring that those people stay there. You know?
Yeah.
So if he has, and we have gone ahead and considered, Jeff, that if he has good and justifiable reason, come on, we are sensible people. We understand what conservation is. He just needs to carry everybody along with him.
Let me ask you guys a simple question. Very simple, basic question. Hold on. If someone just landed in Kenya right now and heard about this story, they're asking this one question. How does one get into the Mao? How does one find themselves in the Mao? Do you just show up and, you know, take up a piece of the forest and build a house? How does one show up?
What do you mean by show up?
Like, how does one end up in the Mao? I mean, where are these people from?
You know, these people encroach and they move in one after the other. Before you know it, you have a whole crowd. That's why we have been very consistent that anybody living inside...
He can't even answer this question.
He cannot answer.
So
that's why I've told you.
Why?
Let me tell you, Jeff. Let me tell you, Jeff.
So,
he doesn't understand.
Go on.
He doesn't understand.
In which way?
In 2000, in fact, in 1986, people bought land in some section of Mao.
Not the forest.
Wait.
You are confused.
When the Kanu government was in power,
yes,
it issued titles.
Inside the map.
Exactly. The Kanu government. And some of the people in that government, the who is who in that government, got piece of land there. That is why you talk about people who've got some
tea farms and tea factories.
Now, that is why I want to remind and I want to tell public that we are dealing with people who don't understand the issue of Mao. All what they understand is political, is to politic about a sensitive matter about our people.
There's some certain people, yes, the who's who,
yes,
got large tracts.
And then let's go further to this other issue on this end. Upon these people resettling in Mao, they started destroying the environment. We've had challenges with the water. Then the government decided we must safeguard the environment and protect the water towers. The impact on this process. But then the problem came about when people wanted to push these people out in an inhumane way. That is when the leaders stepped forward. He was still in school at the time when we were discussing this issue of Mao. So he's a toddler in this, he's a young person in this matter. So he should allow some of us to take them through to what point we had reached. And that is why now it brings me to this issue where he talks about a solution, that they are trying to look for a solution. Which solution are you looking for? Yet the recommendation and the cabinet had adopted at that time that these people must be resettled elsewhere. 16 pieces of land had been identified for these people to be resettled. Everybody was to get land and to be at least 5 acres and to get a house.
And they didn't. They didn't. They weren't given the land.
They were up to today. Up to today. Read the report.
By the way, Senator, I hear the number is 10,000, not 60,000.
Yes.
No. That's not true.
It's only 10,000.
It's perhaps even more than 60,000.
No, come on.
You're talking about a big area. These are thousands of acres that you're talking about. So the number is even larger. Leave alone these long stories of Joshua Kutuny. You know, Joshua is neither here nor there on this issue. All that he came to this show to do, and let me tell you why we have to respond to Joshua in the way we are responding. Joshua is part of a particular script. And the script is create a mess, then run to the other end and blame the deputy president. That is why in all this discussion, all that his mind is obsessed on is where do we find a way of blaming the deputy president on this particular issue. In fact, I want to believe strongly that him and Tobiko are joint twins in this part of exercise called Stop Ruto Movement.
Okay, wait.
You know why?
But he was there from the beginning, remember?
When he was speaking, it doesn't stop him from changing. This man changes his political standing each and every other day. So nothing changes about him. The only consistent thing about Joshua Kutuny is that he will change any minute. So Jeff, don't trust this guy.
Jeff, let me respond.
You had your time. Allow me to speak.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Number 2, the fact that there's no proposal that I've made that is different from what has been proposed earlier. The only question that I've posed since the beginning of the show is that why the departure now from what has been done for the last 6 years? There's work that has been ongoing. Schools have been built, road have been established.
But let's face it.
The problem is the fact that you have a cabinet secretary who has chosen a completely different path from what was initially agreed on.
You have a problem with Tobiko.
Yes.
You have a problem with him.
A lot of problems.
Okay, look, if the people are relocated, should they be resettled? Should they be compensated, Mheshimiwa?
You know, I am not reinventing the wheel. There was a proposal, it was adopted in cabinet before 2012. These people, they were to be resettled elsewhere. Government had identified 16 pieces of land for these people to be resettled. There was money for resettlement. Some people to be resettled in Kericho, part of Nakuru, part of Trans Nzoia, and part of Uasin Gishu, part of Bomet. So I want to remind my friend Harun, you know, if you are obsessed so much with politics and the future of a politician, you tend to lose focus. That is the problem that we are dealing with. We are dealing with people who are obsessed so much in the future of a politician, but instead of the future of the people who elected them. So today I want to remind him as a young leader that first, before you focus for the future of a particular politician, I agree that success of that politician should be the success of these people. So before even they started discussing about what action as the minister take, we should be calling for the adoption of the report,
so
the task force report,
now that Joshua seems to be knowing where all this land was, perhaps part of the question you need to ask him, as an advisor in the office of the president for the last 5 years, what did he do about it?
I agree, and I want to say, don't dare me to bring memos. I had meeting with the deputy president. Immediately they were elected. I told him.
Everything around Joshua,
you know,
revolves
and then later on we had a meeting with the president.
Yes.
And we say these are the issues that these are the promises, these are the fundamental promises that we promised our people.
So what did you achieve with that?
That is one. Remember, as an advisor, I was to advise. And then in 2 years down the line when we were reviewing the performance, we tabled it again. In 2013, in 2017, before election, we did another memo.
So only
now,
6 years,
as an advisor,
you write memos and memos and memos.
At what extent do you go as an advisor? You advise and you leave the decision to be made.
And it wasn't made.
Now, the decision is with the people who are in the office. And that is why I'm saying down the line 7 years, I have this platform today.
So you have no moral,
I am saying,
Joshua Kutuny, you have no moral authority. After 6 years of writing memos, 7 years, you have no moral authority.
Now, I am saying today, Jeff,
yes,
I have this opportunity to speak something that I could not speak in 5 years. We took our people for a ride. We went there and campaigned. We had head-on with Raila in parliament. I, Isaac, Zakayo. Of course, the rest, maybe they were in cabinet. And people know the number of times that we went to FM station to rally our people around this issue of Mau and vote for us.
And they did.
It pains me. So recently when I see leaders, instead of using the offices that they are occupying, they go and cry with the people instead of giving solution. Yet we have the solution.
Gentlemen.
So we are not, and in fact, one of the issues that I am recommending as a way forward, which I'm going to take as an initiative, I am going to request for the report to be brought back to Parliament for a discussion.
Okay, gentlemen,
and
on that note, I'm going to take a break, come back and talk about the way out, gentlemen. What is the way out?
Okay.
Literally and otherwise. Or is the Mao just another pawn in the game for 2022?
Yes.
At least not memos. That can't be the solution.
My goodness, what a show we're having today. Politics 101. We're talking about the hot potato issue called the Mao. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff. We're going to come back and read those tweets at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is JKLIVE. JKLIVE takes a break. We'll be back.